Welcome back, everybody. Time for my last series of today. There's still plenty of Dota 2 action, and while technically it's not my last series, it's 6 AM here, and I'll be casting once more later tonight when Asia kicks off again at 8 PM. But it is Invasion vs CDEC, our last series for, well, day one of the Asia qualifiers as far as this stream goes. There's plenty of other matches going out. Do recommend checking them out on Dota TV, including Na'Vi vs Empire, Game 3 Decider. I imagine that's where most of you actually are right now, watching that series. But as far as this series go, it's game one of a two-game series. Invasion taking on CDEC. We saw CDEC at the start of today, and, well, they didn't look too good. They had a very rough start, starting things off with a 2-0 defeat against Tongfu, a team they were kind of expected to beat. Since then, they did bounce back. They did win a series 2-0, I believe, against CSW. So here they are in their final series for today, looking for some wins. As for Invasion, they're 1-1 with a 1-1 draw against Team Big God. The Burning, Zhao 8, ROTK, and Lamb Dream Team, well, or maybe it's just a retired old men team, depending which way you want to look at it, did manage to take a game off of Invasion, and Invasion managed to take one off of them. So not a bad result so far for Invasion. It is a tough team to beat, although with that said, Big God did lose 2-0 to Team DK. Not the DK people are used to from past years. Much more kind of upcoming and developing DK squad. But here we are. It's Invasion taking on CDEC. And it is a best-of-2 format. Not really a best-of format, but a two-game series format. And effectively, each win, well, gets you one step closer to qualifying for the LAN finals. The way it works is 16 teams playing each other, all in these best-of-2 formats, and then the top 4 go into the main event. 5th and 6th place go into the wildcard matches, and everyone else, the remaining 10 teams, are knocked out, not going to China, or maybe they're already in China, but not going to attend the Dota 2 Asia Championships and compete for $1.6 million. Over $1.6 million, I believe now. Where are we at, I wonder? Let me see if I can get some info on the prize pool tracker here. Heading over to my Cyborg matched prize pool tracker, and we're at $1.665 million. We've surpassed TI1 as well as TI2 in prize money, and it's continuing to grow. So we've already seen $1.4 million raised by the community, which I got to say is pretty damn impressive over just a couple of weeks here, and still growing. So definitely expect it to reach like $2 million or so by the time of the LAN finals, and well, it's a lot of money for these teams. Essentially a mini TI, and well, as far as TI1 and TI2 concerned, this is as big as it gets, really. This is bigger than those events. So when those, I mean, I still remember when TI1 was announced, and everyone is like, "Is this a scam? Is this for real?" The Chinese teams actually didn't train Dota 2 because they thought the whole thing wasn't legit. And they didn't really know who Valve were. They thought they'd never heard of $1 million tournaments. You had $10,000 tournaments, and that was a huge deal. You had a $10,000 LAN finals in Dota 1. It was a big event. That was like as big as it got. I think SMM maybe reached like 15 to 20k prize pool, but then suddenly Valve come along and say $1 million, no problem. Nothing, completely unheard of. And well, here we are. Casual $2 million non-Valve hosted tournaments. Perfect World putting this one on with some Valve support, of course, but in the form of their tiered compendium, which has been so far only seen at TI, but now being unrolled to Perfect World. And that's where this incredible prize pool has come about. So here we are. It is going to be CDEC versus Invasion. A pretty important series. I'd say both teams real contenders to make it into the main event. Especially, well, I would have said especially CDEC at the start, but they did start things off 0-2 against Tongfu. Bounce back, though, so maybe have a bit of momentum going their way. As for Invasion, probably one of the best teams in SEA, really. They've been very consistent, and they didn't get the invite that Rave as well as MVP Phoenix got, but I'd say they are pretty much on par with those two teams. They got a bit less active over the last few weeks, and maybe that's where the invites kind of went against them, but I feel like Invasion, you could have easily put in that same category for an invite, especially if you're looking at teams to represent SEA. So they got MVP representing Korea and Rave representing SEA, but I feel like Invasion you could definitely put in that mix. So maybe feeling a bit hard done by, like, hey, how does Rave get invited but not us? Especially considering Invasion, some of the tournaments they've qualified for in SEA, winning qualifiers for like the Synergy League, doing really well in the Summit 2 qualifiers, getting second place behind First Departure, but unfortunately couldn't replace First Departure because of the last minute visa timeline. So definitely a very strong SEA team, and have proven that they can beat teams like Rave and MVP Phoenix, who MVP Phoenix didn't do too well in the Summit 2 qualifiers. So Bit unfortunate for Invasion, but that's neither here nor there. Because right here is game 1. CDEC on the Radiant side, Invasion on that Dire side. CDEC did first pick the Vengeful Spirit. We saw a Jug Ember Spirit opening for Invasion, and then the Bat Rider came out for CDEC, and ooh, it's the Lycan on the Radiant side, but pretty potent pick that we're going to be looking at probably in the mid lane. Could see it as a safe lane farmer as well, but you look at this aggressive support duo, you give them some howl damage as well for their ganks, and this is a tough looking draft. You've got Bat Rider to help give you the initiation as well as lockdown to help Lycan find some kills. And I like what I'm seeing from the CDEC side. Once again, they are playing with Mikasa as their stand-in, the coach for the team, but he seems to be maybe a bit of a member for the time being. Not sure exactly what that is about, but hey, why not? Well, at least as far as this series goes, why not? We'll see how things develop here as the last pick's going to come out. Invasion went for a Witch Doctor Zeus for their second 2 picks. They've run quite a bit of the Zeus in to see if it's going to be the mid Zeus or support Zeus for them, and looking maybe more like a support Zeus with Jug and Ember Spirit picked up. Ember more your mid laner with Jug. Could go off lane, which a few teams have been kind of playing around, but mostly have been seeing that safe lane farming Juggernaut. So CDEC, they're going to be the ones who have last pick and can respond to whatever Invasion gets. So they'll have a good idea of whether this is a support or a core Zeus. Once they see this last pick, they ban at the Clockwork expecting a support Zeus and an offlaner to be picked up by Invasion. So we'll see what ADTR, the captain, wants to go for here. That's the last pick for the Invasion boys. It is going to be a very important series for both these two teams. You play a lot of matches. I mean, it's hard to kind of give an exact amount of importance to any one series, but this is a tough opponent for both of them. This is one of the teams that you're looking to edge out to get into that top 4. Like as far as the real top 4, the top most likely contenders for that top 4 to me, I'd put CDEC in there. I'd put the new eHome squad. Elsewhere, I'd look at Hyper Glory team, ZSMJ's team. And then number 4 would be like Invasion, maybe. I want to say Invasion. They definitely have the talent and have been very, very consistent. But then you have just so many good Tier 2 Chinese teams. DK, who 2-0'd Big God. You have Big God themselves, who have so many... I mean, they have 4 TI veterans who have tremendous skill. Lamb, Burning, ROTK, as well as Zhao 8 on one team. How can you not think a team like that's going to do well? They're currently 1-3, but they could easily just pull together some wins and start stringing things for the better for the team. And then you have teams like, upcoming teams like Immortal Magneto Gaming, who IMG, no one's heard of them. But they have actually been getting surprise upsets quite frequently, even before the DAC. They took a game off LGD, I think it was in the ECL group stage, so there's a lot of teams to look out for in this mix, and plenty of teams capable of those upsets. And well, then you have Speed Gaming, who have been getting upsets all throughout ECL and I-League. ECL, they beat Newbie. This is a team you cannot count out as well. There is such strong depth in the SEA, and more specific, I would say even to a greater extent, the Chinese scene. The Chinese scene, the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 teams, depending on how you want to differentiate them, have tremendous potential. There are teams that some people have never heard of who would probably consider, oh, they're not even like Tier 2. Tier 2 you say is like maybe HGT, your eHome squad, your Speed Gaming squad, but then you have your IMG and your DKs and your Tongfus. These would be almost that next level of teams, but they're causing upsets. You have IMG beating LGD in series. You have a lot of potential there and just crazy talent going all the way through the Chinese scene. And SEA as well, there's always that kind of X factor. There's a play a very different, more aggressive style and can catch teams by surprise. But draft now complete, and we'll get things underway here in this 2-game series. Maybe going to be on the Radiant side, leading things off for CDEC on the Lycan. Behind him is Garda on the support Skywrath Mage, and then we see the Vengeful Spirit being played by Q. That's your CDEC trialing down bottom. They don't really want to fight into a Juggernaut, as we will see mid lane Mikasa on his signature Templar Assassin. That's going to be the Chinese characters handling the Bat Rider. Someone needs to get me a translation of this. Let me know what to call him. But the TA for Mikasa, I got to say, this is his best hero, and definitely something to look out for. Over on the Invasion side, the Malaysian squad, we're going to have Ghost handling the Juggernaut. OK on the Witch Doctor, ADTR, the captain on the Disruptor. Zeus in the hands of FZFZ is going to be going for a mid Zeus, and then Ketchikimba on the Ember Spirit with that last pick Disruptor. This does give Zeus some farm this game, and he's also going to get Bounty Rune to back it up, as Batrider will snag the top one. So Ketchik heading top, and he's going to need some supports up there, as that's where Witch Doctor is headed. Dual lanes from Invasion. Disruptor Jug down bottom. Looks like a Witch Doctor up top with the Ember Spirit. Unless we're going to see ADTR maybe swing off this lane. It's got some wards which he probably wants to go plant soon. And they did go for the double ward. Normally you see this double ward where you put them like far apart. You put like one here and one here, so it takes 2 sentries to deward. But you could deward both of these with the single sentry. Right now Skywrath has no sentries. There are some on Q's Vengeful Spirit though. Top lane, Batrider being forced to use a very early Firefly. And it's got level 2 though, so already getting a little bit out of this lane, and that's the start you need for a Batrider. Just get your level 2. You have to use a Firefly to do so, get that mana regen proccing, and now he's going to get pull off as well, so this is going to deny some XP and farm. He's going to stack it up as well, so he can maybe farm it himself later on, but just deny a full creep wave of experience. It's a pesky opening, which Invasion can't really do too much about, and now this lane's going to push out even more, giving Bat even more experience. They'll come in and try to get some last hits and not succeed in doing so. And the problem is, with these neutrals, with these neutral pulls, if the neutrals get the last hit, you're getting 0 XP. It's not even getting the reduced deny XP. You're getting absolutely nothing from it, which is always pretty damn annoying. Mid lane, TA versus Zeus, and slightly TA favored matchup, I'd say, but Zeus can just sit back with his bottle, spam things down, and should be able to farm very well. TA just has a maybe slight advantage in that he can deny a little bit better. But Mikasa so far, 11 CS to the 8 of the Zeus and the 2 denies for the TA as well. Down in the bottom jungle, the Radiant Sentry wards. Oh, we got the Observer. Does not know the sentries here, and we're not going to see this respawn at the 2 minute mark. He's going to be bothered by that one. There's a Bounty Rune top for FZ. Bottom rune going to be a DD, being left for the TA. Nice rune to have, especially once his boots come out. Could be looking to get aggressive on the Zeus, but Zeus should have boots of his own. And TA, until you're level 6, you're not really looking at kills, but as soon as you hit level 6, Zeus has to play very cautiously. We'll probably have to use the DD room before that, as he's not going to have the duration he wants on it, but it's going to be interesting to see how these teams look to make things out from here. For CDEC, it's bothersome because this sentry, has he spotted it? Oh, user Wave of Terror hasn't got it. Oh no. He's maybe thinking it's like over here, out of range. And Q, yeah, he's not getting it looks like. So this pull will remain blocked, which is helping out this offlane Jug a bit, but he's still just level 2. Not exactly been a fruitful bottom lane for him. Continuing to get zoned out as Venge comes in with a stun. Normally you would see, I feel like the Wave of Terror build's a bit better, because you can just trade right clicks and just start right clicking the Jug using Wave of Terror. We're definitely seeing that more and more out of these support Vengeful Spirits, and I feel like it's definitely the way to go. More mana efficient, and just also you're just dealing generally a bit more damage. That level 1 stun with 1 right click does very little, with just 100 damage reduced down to 70, and then the one or two right clicks which don't really do a whole lot. Especially when your Jug has, well, he hasn't got a stout shield, but he has got the magic stick. Top lane Bat already with Tranquil Boots. Has just got the double stack here for himself. Actually, one of the Hellbears already dying. Top lane, Batrider getting hit by Searing Chains. There's a kinetic field as well. They locked him in place, but Ember Spirit not going for that one. Has gone for a 0 Flame Guard build. Interesting to see, but he wants to have that long range initiation. Mid lane, caught the end of that one. Zeus, first blood goes his way. FZ takes out Mikasa's TA. A solo kill definitely did not expect to happen, and TA going to be left shrugging. Had 7 magic stick charges, but the Zeus burst damage from that lightning bolt caught him by surprise before he could actually pop the magic stick. Nice little play coming out of FZ, and not a solo kill you expect. I was just hyping up Mikasa's solo mid play on this TA as his best hero, and I stand by that, but that's an uncharacteristic mistake coming out from him. Looks like Bat wants to farm this double stack of his and start getting together some farm. Could pull it to this small camp, but the problem is then it's very obvious and easy to contest. The Disruptor sees what's going on. He's going to look to at least leech XP, maybe go for some last hits, but getting those against a Bat is not easy, especially with the 8 palm sticks. Although this last one actually not going to go down. Out of the Firefly, and Bat wants to fly back to safety. Oh, Lycan, maybe. Already with a Midas, just 4.5 minutes in. very early timing for your Lycan. Mikasa is back mid, has hit level 6 now, and he may be calling for that support rotation, because with the kill, Zeus has got Arcane Boots. He's off to a fantastic start. Similarly, Batrider doing really well, has a nice little stack waiting for him here, triple stack, and he's going to farm that one up with another Napalm or two. Skywrath coming in just to help things out, and this is a decent segue towards that Blink Dagger, although actually struggling to finish off this camp. Ran out of mana for the Napalms, and there we go. 1 or 2 more right clicks, and Batrider gets up to 750 gold. Middle lane, just a cautionary trap being used. Keep Zeus on his feet. Keep him second guessing what's going on in this lane. Is Mikasa going to be going for kills? And, well, it's Invasion, who may be going to consider a rotation towards the mid lane. Have got both supports headed down that direction, and no Radiant Vision apart from at this bottom river, so they are not going to spot this. Actually, what am I talking about? They've got this ward here, which will just spot this rotation right as the ward's about to come out. So trap gets put on the top rune, does get spotted by the supports who tried to attack it, but didn't have the detection they needed for it. As bottom rune also being controlled by Invasion. Invasion going to get both runes off of this. DD for your Jug and Bounty rune for your Zeus. Problems kind of surmount for CDEC, who don't have any rune control, partly going back to that Zeus First Blood. And Ketchik Imba at top lane is going more points back in the Sleight of Fist. This is the max Sleight of Fist Searing Chains build. I think like there was a small period where Sing Sing would go for this build, or like a few of the Western Ember Spirit players were skipping Flame Guard and going for like a 4-4. Well, 4-4 with the 1 point in the ultimate build, like a 4-4-1 build. You still get ulti at level 6, of course, but you get constant spam from your Sleight of Fist. Does give you bonus hero damage, and you do a lot of single target damage to heroes here. Oh, maybe. 40 HP. Is he actually going to go back in? He's looking for the TP out. FZ, nothing to cancel it. Gets out of there just barely. Maybe almost goes down there to the Zeus, who did use his ultimate for that one, so won't be able to find the kill. But most importantly, he doesn't die there. A rotation where you don't get a kill and get brought down is very painful. Mikasa made his way down bottom as well. He's got 10 Magic Stick Charges, Bracer in hand, and going to make his way back towards that mid lane as Batrider can go for the jungle now. Unfortunately, he's had this pesky Mud Golem camp, which he just can't really deal with right now. Goes to bottom. Not really much he can do about these Lycan Wolves. They're just going to keep on contesting the lane pretty decently. TP back in from maybe he'll resummon some more wolves, and back to farm he goes. Has that Midas up for some time. They want to at least threaten to go in, but Zeus now in trouble. Gets silenced by the Ancient Seal. The magic missile's there, and FZ needs some heal, needs some support. The healing one I think just came up off cooldown, and they get the Zeus kill. This mid lane's been open for some time, and no one's been farming there for the Invasion side, which is a small little worry here. ADTR gets grabbed by the lasso. Gets broken by the glimpse, so he got it off right before the lasso came into play. That'll save ADTR's life, and Lycan will fall back to the jungle now, wanting to use that Midas on some big creep. Maybe goes for the Hellbear. We'll see if he uses... No, it's just going to use on the Mud Golem. Can farm the Hellbear the traditional way. Well, that death on Zeus. That hurts, considering he had such a good start. He's still level 8, still doing nicely, but it's the TA who's, well, 56 CS to his 22 CS. Now the kills may start coming. Mikasa looking for the dive. FZ. Not going to commit to the kill as the TP comes in, scares him off, and Mikasa now on the run. Does have Refraction back up. Will get caught out. Searing Chain's actually not going to land. Catches out the creep wave. Now the turnaround going back the other way. The trap onto 3 or 4, but as I said, it's 3 or 4. You don't want to go into that with just the TA and, well, 1 or 2 support backup. He needs more than that. Has a regen rune and has a lot of refraction capability still in this mid lane. He's going to throw in another trap just to scare FC back and keep him guessing as to what's going on. Invasion, though, looking to get Ketchikimba involved. This 4-2 build. That's the 1 point in the ultimate. 2 Hero Searing Chains available, and he's going to do a ton of damage with a Zeus ultimate. This is looking terrible for CDEC in the jungle. Great smoke rotation. Finds the Lycan most importantly, but also gets a freebie on the Vengeful Spirit. They would have been happy with just the Lycan, but getting 2 kills off of that, fantastic. Zeus ultimate helping make sure they get those kills, and unfortunately for Zeus, doesn't actually get any money or XP for that one. Just assisted a bit with the damage. Some assist padding. could say. Now the swing towards top lane. It's going to be the TA looking for this Disruptor kill, and definitely potential for a dive. Disruptor's very low mana, just has the Glimpse mana now. Better than nothing. Here comes the traps. ADTR is just going to have to glimpse and hope for the best. Not actually going to go for it. Goes for the kinetic field instead, and well, I don't see this working out too well for him. The trap is on cooldown, but there's phase boots. There's actually not going to go for it. Here comes OK on the Witch Doctor, and Batrider has no TP. Going to get locked in place. They fire him to follow, and Ketchikimba gets involved in his third kill of the game. Zeus with a haste rune is looking to punish Mikasa here, but with more or less full refraction up, that's not going to amount to too much. Lycan back in his own jungle and looking to just give the lane to the supports. You often see this with the Lycan, be it your mid or safe lane Lycan. You get your early Vlads and then just fall back to the jungle. You don't have to stay in the lane. You give the lane to a support who can benefit from the levels, and well, speaking of supports, they're going to make their way into Roshan now. No Hal available, but you've got TA Meld, minus armor, you've got the Vengeful Spirit, you've got a ton of minus armor with the Vlads. Who needs Medallion right now? This should be a pretty straightforward Roshan take. Oh my god, that's a fast Roshan. Takes them all of maybe 12 seconds or so to bring it down, and CDEC going to give the Aegis to Mikasa, perhaps? Juggernaut, meanwhile, bottom lane, gets the kill there. Bottom river, there is a fight going out. ADTR pops the ultimate, but he's still going down. The TA has the Aegis, and Mikasa can keep chasing. May look to go on FZ. The stuns come out, and Mikasa taking quite a bit of damage here. Needs another refraction. Only has the bonus damage here. Doesn't actually have the defensive refraction, but it comes back up, and the swap in on FZ. He's looking for the Vengeful Spirit. Will get the Vengeful Spirit, in fact. FZ will pay for it with his life, and Ghost now has a Blade Fury in a couple of seconds, and it's going to be a TP out from your TA, or is it? Oh! He misses the Searing Chains! He had it and everything. He didn't use the Sleight of Fist there. He tried to rush it and go for the Searing Chains out of range. And in the end, it's a bit of an even trade. A 2 for 2. Venge Scarith for your Disruptor Zeus. I'd say a slight edge for CDEC getting the kill on the Zeus, but it could have been a whole lot worse for CDEC should that TA have been caught in the Searing Chains. Probably would have been 2 kills. You cancel the TP, you break his Aegis, then you kill him and fight him again with Ember Spirit. Just the level 1 Flame Guard, but hey, you can burn through those refraction charges. TA has no magic damage. And the Meld refraction is there, but that was not going to end well for the TA. Should he have been caught out, and oh, what a big rune to find. TA's much loved DD rune. Gonna now see a swing towards this top tier 1 tower. Maybe with the 4-1-4 up, and Mikasa still has Aegis. Makes fighting and defending this very tricky. He pops a DD and will take the tower, now up to 1900 gold. Could see a blink rush out of him, and the new blink changes with the TA refraction mean it's a lot easier to use that blink as an escape tool, and just generally a better item on TA than it once was. But a few too many small items like Drum's Blink, he's running out of item slots. You'd have to sell something like his Magic Stick to make room for that. But it does seem Mikasa wants to get some more farm up. He swings now towards the bottom lane. Has actually got himself a Yasha, so a lot of good farm going this TA's way. The Radiant side, well, we can see Invasion, 6 kills to 3. Maybe looking for another smoke gank here. Zeus, Jug, and Witch Doctor all grouped up. And Witch Doctor and Bat, well, 2 opposing heroes, both pick up a smoke. So we could be seeing similar timing on these 2 teams. Both looking to smoke, find some pickoffs, turn these pickoffs into objectives too, especially for the CDEC side. When you've got this Aegis, you want to try and start bringing down this mid or this bottom tier 1 tower. Don't want to be just sitting around idly farming with it necessarily. Especially at this stage where the TA who's level 11 can offer so much damage to the team. And well, they're both maybe going to smoke into one another. Invasion have 5 here grouped up. Not going to go for a smoke of their own, but the Lycan Wolf scouts this one out. Batrider thinks they're still there, but they're actually smoking upwards towards the top lane. CDEC have a pretty good idea if that's where they that is where they went. These Lycan Wolf scouts prove to be huge. And in the mid lane, maybe knowing that they smoked up is playing very defensively. They're now going to go back. They see the fire, I believe. They're going to wonder what that's all about. And ADTR, his smoke about to wear off. He's leading the charge here into the Radiant jungle. Any second now, this Observer Ward will get some scouts off, but they're going to get the Searing Chains. That's Mikasa on the front lines. He's got the Aegis, though, not the target you want to go on. Batrider has a blink, and he's going to be the one looking for that pickoff. Firefly back up in 1 second. He's going to be careful. There's your blink. Lasso comes out. Ghost Going to get dragged away from the Static Storm, which was meant to cover his retreat here. Vengeful Spirit now gets caught out by the Fire Element. Ketchuk Imba goes in. He's got one, looking for two. The second Fire Element's there. Needs a Sleight of Fist or a Searing Chains. He's going to get the Sleight of Fist, but no Searing Chains. Oh, it's still not a bad fight here. The Aegis has been procced, and Ketchuk Imba going down means Invasion. They're in all sorts of trouble. Ember Spirit just overextending, not using his mana as cost effectively as he could have, and it's a 4-for-2 trade. The TA losing the Aegis there, not the biggest of deals. Just an Aegis claim, which was going to be expiring in 1 minute anyways, and CDEC, they pull further ahead. They're out farming their opponents quite heavily. Even with the kill score previously being Invasion favored, CDEC just had a big farm advantage. See here with the net worth. TA and Lycan so far ahead of any of the Invasion cores. And they can just fall back and continue to farm. Get these next few big items up. The Lycan Necrobook or BKB. It's going to be a BKB this game. TA, well, 1400 gold, and Mikasa is sitting pretty. Right himself. Okay, just 800 on his own hero, but things for Invasion getting very dicey considering their lack of farm right now. The Zeus just like your mid 4k net worth, your Jug at 4k, your Ember only on 5k. You've got a 9k net worth Lycan. With all the tower money, the kills, and in the Roshan that they claim. CDEC have a big Game 1 lead in this 2-game series, and after a 0-2 start to today up against Tongfu, this is good news for them. They 2-0'd CSW, and here they are in their last series for day 1, looking like they're at least going to be picking up a Game 1 win, but still just 16 minutes into the game. It is about a 10k gold lead, though, which is massive. Let's be honest here. That's no small lead here, and the smoke here, Batrider going to go onto the high ground. Didn't see anyone just yet, I don't believe. Maybe the trap saw some of these swings towards mid lane, and yep, okay, going to get caught. That's your Witch Doctor. No escape for him, and Juggernaut's going to be careful himself. He's going to get hit by a trap. Looking for the TP out, but the swap will cancel it. Ghost is in trouble. The traps are there and should be able to slow him. After this, he turns around for an Omni Slash. He's not going to get the luck he was looking for, and Zeus even using an ultimate. CDEC get 2 off of that smoke gank. And meanwhile, top lane may be continuing to farm. He's up to level 13 and has a BKB. Tier 2 mid tower, Mikasa says, well, Sukasa is Mikasa to the Tier 2 tower. And top lane, it's maybe using that BKB. Well, easy solo kill, he says. Disruptor can't even glimpse him back, and it's mid lane. TA solo kills the Zeus now. Things just going from bad to worse when this TA can just run at you under your Tier 3 tower and get solo kills because, well, he doesn't have any backup. His backup's dead. Witch Doctor and Jug were both dead. Disruptor was dead top. Ember Spirit was trying to help the top lane as well, but Invasion just spread too thin right now. And this is not looking good at all for the SEA squad right now. It's CDEC, who have 3.4k gold on Mikasa. We'll see where he looks to go with this, if he's going to pick up another BKB for the team or continue the aggression. Maybe go for something like the big high damage Desolator. There's another DD rune. Mikasa says, thank you, Lord Gaben, for this RNG runes. Probably doesn't need to pop it for this Tier 1 as the Tier 1 gets taken by the Radiant. Maybe uses it for the Tier 2, but I feel even saving it for a fight or Roshan could be the preferred option. This Tier 2 could just go down uncontested with the kind of lead they have. The Dire team do have an Observer up here. This is where you'd kind of ideally look to pick up a gem fairly soon for CDEC to get that map control, but for now, just going to make a swing towards this bottom lane. Look to get some more vision up here on the high ground. And now defending the Tier 2. With this ward up here, it's just near impossible. I don't see it happening. They're actually pinging out this Firefly. I don't think they see this. No, they don't see this, but they have a very good idea that they were in this area and putting down a ward. The ward seeing very far out. Zeus just outside the edge of that. Some good positioning from FC. Knowing that more or less the ward range, but now he's going to walk into a trap, get slowed. He may have got a bit too impatient, moving too far up. Nope, they're not going to go on him. Mikasa uses the DD rune, gets the tower, and Roshan respawning in 15. This is where you put the trap in and go right in. He still has the DD rune. He could actually use that to take Roche. Wave of Terror. Not going to scat it out. That was used like 2 seconds too early. Mikasa now trap. Put it in there. Put it in there, my son. I'm not going to do it. But continuing to get big farm while the rest of his team look to move towards the top lane. Skyreth and Batrider, any sort of a lasso into a Mystic Flare is almost a guaranteed kill. And Mikasa says, screw Roche, I'm going top. We've got BKB now on myself as well with double BKB, Hyperstone on your Lycan, building towards that AC. With the AC, the 5-man is just so potent. Nothing Invasion can really do to fight this. Easy tier 2 tower taken. This is where Invasion would maybe love to go for a Roshan sneak, but they just don't have the damage. They've got no real DPS here. Ember Spirit's gone for this Drums Yasha build, which I think is alright when you're like that 2-position Ember, but he's the hard carry for this team. He needs to be dishing out damage with a Battle Fury Daedalus type build, it feels like. Mid lane, possibly going to see him get grabbed. Batrider's looking for the pickoff. Doesn't have vision right now. Where's that Fire Remnant? Meanwhile, well, TA, well, Mikasa doing Mikasa things. Gets the second trap. OK gets slowed down, and Mikasa will chase him on down. Now's maybe when they go for Roshan. Meanwhile, top. Zeus getting chased down by the big bad Lycan, and the BKB on maybe. He just solo kills a Zeus with that BKB ultimate. Looking for a glimpse back. Not going to happen. In comes the TA. Tears apart the Disruptor. Down goes your Jug as well. It's 4 dead. They're on the high ground. They just need a creep wave now to get rid of the backdoor protection, I believe. Actually, they've got a creep wave mid. They can focus down this tier 3 and possibly just seal the deal here in game 1. Searing Chains, not really even going to hit anyone. Catches a Wolf as well as I think the Lycan, who can still attack, and tier 3 goes down. This is looking horrendous in game 1. There's a lasso. Yeah, you betcha. Catch a Gimba, Mystic Flare. The silence is going to be needed to stop the Fire Remnant out, and they've got it. TA shows up with a Meld Strike, and, well, TA trying to fight Mikasa here. This is not going to work. Buyback from the Ember Spirit, but Mikasa's already in BKB form. Does get Maledicted. It's going to be possibly a second kill from Mikasa. He's getting low. Needs an escape plan. Does not really have one at this point, but he's created enough space to get the top racks. And with that, CDEC more or less secure game 1. 21 minutes in, they claim a racks. They can go Roshan when they want. Ember Spirit just had to use a buyback. Sure, they lost to TA, which was a pretty big kill. You see, well, not even that much of a gold gain. Ember Spirit, I think, kill was shared. He only gained 200 gold because of that buyback. You look at where the gold gain was, and no one gained any gold. TA even gains gold while dying. All those kills that CDEC are picking up, just making things just awful for Invasion right now. It's Roshan o'clock now for CDEC once the TA's respawned. And items are just accumulating for this Radiant team, whereas, well, Blink Dagger now, Mikasa's saying, I don't want no Desolator, I want that mobility, and with the way he's playing, I like the choice. Lycan now going to BKB ulti, wants ADTR, and this BKB getting down pretty short here, but all these solo kills are really adding up. He chomps down on the Disruptor. I feel like I've seen 3 BKBs, and I've seen 3 solo kills for maybe. Disruptor twice, and Zeus once. And now into the Roshan pit we go, with a regen rune, of course. Invasion are nearby, but, well, Ember's nearby, but I don't see him able to offer anything to help up against this TA Lycan Roche. With the AC, this is just too damn easy. He just picked up for your Lycan, and we may see another lane of racks be claimed very, very soon. Batrider not with the team currently. Doesn't have a TP for 30 seconds, but may just make the long walk to mid lane. Okay, you're dead. Okay. No, well, not okay. If you're Invasion, things are definitely not okay right now. Ember Spirit, Fire Remnant's backwards, but this may not be okay. The spill damage is going to get sidestepped there. That almost looked bad for him. TA does not have Aegis, and going to be forced to BKB. Need a few right clicks to bring him down. Vengeful Spirit outruns the Juggernaut spin. Yes, just barely. Turns for the stun. Mikasa going to now fight Ghost. Ghost really wants the Venge. He's not going to get it, though. 5 dead, and TA and Venge are both somehow still alive. It's GG. CDEC crush Invasion in game 1, a very one-sided affair. We'll see what Invasion can do to bounce back, but game 2, well, if Invasion don't find some kind of a backup plan or some way to kind of mix things up here, it looks like this game has CDEC written all over it. That was just strong play from start to finish. Looking like a different team from earlier today when they got 2-0'd by Tongfu, which is good to see. CDEC, one of those teams who's got LAN experience. I mean, Invasion, similar story. They played a lot of LANs in the SEA scene and have proven themselves time and time again, but it's CDEC who's been kind of hyped up as that next big Chinese team, and we just haven't really seen it yet. But right now, looking to make their mark known as they get one step closer to qualifying to the LAN finals with a win here. That puts them up to 3 wins, 2 losses in the group stage, and we'll see if they can go to that 4-2 record or if it's going to be Invasion maintaining their 50-50 record. They're 1-2 right now, looking for another draw after an earlier draw against Team Big God. Stick around, guys. I'm GoDz from Beyond the Summit. You can follow me at BTS GoDz. We've got Game 2, Invasion vs CDEC, up next.